So first thing is what are kidney stones? So a kidney stone is a hard mass that forms from crystals in the urine. Our urine has components that consist of calcium, sodium, potassium, oxalate, uric acid, and phosphorus. And when there's buildup on of these components in the urine, they can form crystals, and if they're not treated on the right time, it can lead to kidney stones. Okay, and so today we're going to focus on, so there's different types of kidney stones. Want to start with that. There's different types of kidney stones, and not all kidney stones are the same. They vary. The most common types of kidney stones are the calcium stones that are followed by uric acid stones. But today our main focus is going to be calcium oxalate stones. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start the main tips on how to prevent those kidney stones. If we already have a buildup of calcium and calcium and oxalate in our blood, how can we prevent those crystals to leading to kidney stones? So we're going to start with the first option here is the most important factor you can do is drink plenty of water every day. So that's our first point, drinking plenty of water, meaning three liters a day. And reason why we want to drink plenty of water is because if we have high intake of water per day, the high amount of urine will lead into the less concentrated of those particles inside the urine, so there's not going to be crystals. And if we have, that's with high levels of intake of water. If we have a low intake of water, so we are going to have less urine, there's going to be buildup in particles in the urine, and it's going to be more concentrated and more likely to be crystallized in a form of stones.
How many fluid ounces is that?
Fluid ounces is 101 fluid ounces.
That's a lot. A lot of people are not going to drink 3 liters.
So today we have different, we have a technique in how to increase those liters. So 3 liters can be converted into 7 to 8 water bottles, so 16 ounces a day. There's different ways for you to increase that water intake. And today we have in our recipe today, I have an infused water recipe that can help us increase those water intake.
Okay. All right. And you mean the 500 cc bottle? You said bottled water.
Yeah, so just in general, just 16 ounces, that's how usually people break it down to. Okay. Water bottles, so 16 ounces of water bottle. About 7 or 8 of those. Okay, the next point is going to be eat enough dairy calcium. In general, we do hear a lot of that a lot of calcium comes from dairy, and we're going to point out that not all calcium comes from dairy because again, the dairy calcium also has fat in it. So we can find calcium in different fruits and vegetables. In our recipe today, I have rosemary. Rosemary is one of those herbs that not a lot of people know it has calcium, and it does have plenty of calcium, so you don't need to rely on your cheese and eggs most of the time. So different fruits and vegetables have calcium. And in oxalate stones, most of these fruits and vegetables that have calcium, they tend to be low in oxalate levels, which is a hen. It's a good thing. All right. Our next topic is avoid extra calcium supplements. So we don't want to overdo our calcium supplements just because it can interact with some metabolic pathway in our system that can lead to more add-on oxalate. And most of the time, most of these supplements are not really calcium. The calcium that you are getting is not a real calcium form of calcium.
I think what we're trying to say is this. You don't have to, number one, you don't have to drink milk or eat a lot of cheese or anything from a cow to get your calcium. There's sufficient calcium that you can get from plants and your herbs and spices, period. That's where they come from. That's where the calcium is in. It's a mineral which grows in the ground, so you can get it from eating this. We don't want you doing calcium supplements because those are man-made. Number one, you never know how much milligrams of calcium you get in to begin with. Number two, in order to put it in a pill form, it has to become a powder, as it has some silicone in it. And you don't know how much you're getting, minus the fiber from the fruit and the vegetables. And also, it's just not, we're using food as medicine. We're not using supplements, which just what it means. It's supposed to supplement the diet. You can get sufficient calcium from your diet. Plant-based source, period.
Next one is avoid high salt intake in general. And that's so high sodium intake increases calcium in the urine. And this is a calcium oxalate stone tip. Avoid high doses of vitamin C supplements. You don't need to supplement any vitamin C because in general, it is recommended 60 milligrams of vitamin C throughout the day, and typically you can get that from just eating three to four oranges or any citrus foods throughout the day. So you don't need to have high doses of supplements of vitamin C in general.
We're covering the two most commonest type of stones in our patient population: calcium oxalate, uric acid, which we heard of gout. So this slide is now going on to a new topic, which is uric acid stone.
So this for the uric acid stone tip is avoid animal-based protein. Again, this animal-based protein can lead into high uric acid production in the urine. And of course, that's not what we want if you're prone to have kidney stones. So just in general, that's another reason why animal-based protein is not the way to go.
So quick review, ladies and gentlemen. Calcium oxalate stones is the first one we hit. So all stones, you drink lots of water. Then again, by drinking lots of water, you're diluting the amount of the actual mineral that's being formed that can potentially crystallize and form stones. This is about calcium oxalate stones. Most people mistakenly eat low calcium. That's just the opposite. Calcium binds with oxalate. So the more calcium you have in your diet, you could bind up that oxalate and you would not precipitate a stone. Okay, you actually remove it in your colon. This goes with calcium oxalate stone. We told you to avoid these calcium supplements. We want you to avoid sodium intake, and vitamin C can also precipitate out more calcium because vitamin C, I think, actually turns into oxalate. So these first slides were about calcium oxalate stones, the most common stone that's formed in the United States. Now, the next common stone in the United States is uric acid from gout, and that's where this slide came in, into avoiding animal-based protein.
Okay, and overall, that's the last slide. And just the main keys again, Dr. Washington summarized everything, but the main concern that we do here is a lot of people are not able to meet the 3 liters of water every day. So today we do have a recipe, and the recipe calls for, actually got it in there, an infused water of rosemary. And we actually have it today. It's quickly infused it today in the office. But this water here has strawberries, which are low in oxalate. And we have a lemon in here, which is also low in oxalate. And our rosemary, which, as you can see, we talked about the calcium. So that's just an add-on calcium to our infused water. So it just adds more flavor to your water and a different way for you to increase your water intake. And you can mix and match these with low oxalate fruits and vegetables. I've seen people actually do vegetables in their infused waters. So that's that. And so yeah, this is our infused water for today. Oh, I can take a sip. Well, let's take a sip today. And again, this is the
end of our presentation.
Oh, this is very refreshing. It's very refreshing. Oh, so this is our water, and it's very refreshing. That's it. Yeah, I can taste the rosemary too.
Okay, you gonna make me a glass?
Yeah, Dr. Washington needs one of these. So.
Okay, perfect.
So that's it for today. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. Thank you. Let's get some of that water.